That lady's in the show. She's awesome.
Yeah.
Everyone's in this.
HBO, that always gets an all-star.
Larry Fishburne's wife.
In real life?
In real life.
Her?
Lawrence Fishburne's wife. Yes, that's her.
Wow.
Is she the mom to the porn girl?
That I don't know. I don't know how long they've been together. But I know that they're married. Or at least they were married while she was filming Firefly.
Yeah.
She's still married now. Yeah. Yeah, it really is.
Never seen it.
Makes me very sad. But it's Fox, so it's also not a huge surprise.
Yeah, sure.
So we're going to turn this off. You guys are just going to watch it the whole time.
Just,
You leave it on.
I can
if you
still
want.
talk and do that. That's why I got the volume off of it.
Fine.
Ow.
Fine. There we go.
Hello and welcome to the Halloween episode of the All or Nothing podcast. Ooh. I'm Will, and here today with me, again and as usual, are
Gus.
And Dustin.
Today we're going to start out talking about our favorite Halloween games. Apparently these guys are more into them than I am, and then we're going to end up talking about Halloween movies, because I love a good Halloween movie, I love a good scary movie. I'm a bigger baby when it comes to jump scares than I am about a tense video game, but there have been a few games that have really gotten to me.
I'm a gigantic baby when it comes to jump scares. That's why I don't like scary stuff.
Yeah, that's why I don't play those kind of games for the most part, because I do cry like a baby and piss my pants.
I never finished PT. I've never finished Dead Space. And then there's a few others, but most of them I either get bored or the story just gets so silly that I don't care anymore. But you said Doom got you when you were little because you're a little bit older than me, so you probably played it when you were pretty young.
Walking down a dark hallway,
waiting for something to jump out and try to kill you.
Start coming at the end of the hallway to kill you.
And eventually you actually go to hell. So that's how Doom ends. You go to hell.
Games like that, I couldn't even watch Freddy Krueger, attacking me in the dreams. I could not do these things. I have horrible nerves when it comes to that. People still today, tap me on the shoulder, and I jump up 10 feet like a cat on the roof,
Yeah, it's one of my small pleasures at work, honestly.
You got there eventually.
Yeah. Yeah, that literally is one of my small pleasures at work, is to know where you are and to be able to just yeah, there he is. Okay, cool, we can do this. Hey, buddy! How's it going? But yeah, as
You're
far as...
that asshole, huh?
Oh, yeah, yes.
Kind of like
Yes,
Rick
I
used to be
am.
that asshole.
Yeah, I'm
Rick
less...
did used to be that
I'm
asshole.
less touchy than that, maybe. But yeah, I mean, the older games, there was the... Oh gosh, it was the Friday the 13th game that was super, super hard. I think I've only played it once, but you would run around and Jason would just try to follow you and kill you.
The one with the cabins and stuff?
Yeah.
That's a bad game.
It's a really bad game,
It's
and
not
it's
a
super
good game.
hard. Yeah, well, that's a bad game because it was made poorly, so
Yeah.
it's really hard to play even if you're good at it. So that's not a good one.
I think, old point and clicks, there was always ones that were kind of murder mystery.
Yeah.
That,
Those are kind of before my time.
yeah.
But yeah, there were a ton of those, because there were just a ton of those games, because Sierra and LucasArts did all of their really good games, and then everybody else did all the B-tier games, and a lot of the B-tier games ended up being horror games. So those were pretty good.
That just reminds me of Nintendo and the fact that I love the Nintendo.
Mario,
which are,
right?
For the
Real
most
scary.
part, are majority of the Nintendo Wii games are B-type movies, and I love them.
Yeah. Let's see. I've got a short list of stuff here. And, one that actually did surprise me with how creepy it is what's it called? I can't remember what it's called now. Hold on. Dark Souls. The Dark Souls series has some really creepy imagery and just weird stuff in it because
the guy who made it is a fucking
yeah. That, and it's also based on like mythology that I have no connection to. Like Japanese mythology is weird and disgusting and crazy, and I also I'm not used to it because I didn't grow up with it because I'm not Japanese.
And it's also like a bunch of other myths thrown in there.
Yeah,
I mean, the dude took inspiration from everything, but that's still. I don't know if you've seen the game or played the game. The monsters in there are just super gnarly looking. The palette is just dark. I think it's all grays and like there's fire. You know, like there's no bright yellows, there's no bright blues, no bright greens.
Yeah, it's not Hot Topic gothic.
Yeah,
it's actual. Like gothic, like actual like Cthulhu, Eldritch horror, like terrifying gothic. Everything moves really weird and is just perfectly creepy. Like
and the games are difficult as shit. So like you're there concentrating, trying to beat a dude or trying to walk slowly down a hallway, and then a fucking crazy slug monster just comes out of the side out of nowhere.
Yeah, I'm good then. Those are the ones that fuck me up.
The Fear games, at least the first two, were pretty good for that. They had some fun.
The only connection I have to Fear is Rooster Teeth's Panics.
Yeah. Yes. And I guess that gets into like the real current history of scary video games is I have way more fun getting on YouTube and watching other people be scared.
Yeah, I'll do that all day.
Yeah, I don't really want to be that person. I know it's funny for other people.
As long as I don't have to look at the same screen they're looking at. You know, I don't like that split screen where you're looking at their face and you're looking at
well, you see, that's why
then I get stuck looking at the screen like, what the fuck's about to happen?
Yeah, you play with the lights on. You play with the volume kind of
Have you ever
low.
tried to squint your eyes, you know, and hope that it comes at you slower?
Yeah.
Because that's what I used to do when I was playing, like I said, Doom. I'd squint my eyes and hope that it would come at me slower for some stupid reason. I thought that would work and make me less scared, that I wouldn't go running across the room and just throw the controller down.
Well, what makes me really tense is when I watch someone who is obviously braver than I am. Because they're moving so much faster than I ever would. Like, no, slow down. It's fine.
Like, why are you running down this hallway?
The day's long. Like, whatever's over there is going to be over there for a while, I think. It's probably not going to come over here. So just hang out. Let's figure this out.
Yeah.
And if we need to, run away. But no, they're just charging forward. Keep on going. I guess there's... literally like a million of the like adventure game style things that Gus was talking about, that and some of them are supposedly really good, a lot of them are really bad, but there are
well, you can even say like what's that man, what Freddy got fingered
what?
Or Freddy, what was that, Freddy 5 or Freddy got fingered?
Oh, Five Nights at Freddy.
Five Nights at Freddy.
Yeah,
that one's 100% jump scare.
Terrified the shit out of me. And I was, for the most part, I played a little bit of it a while back, but for the most part, just watched other people's reactions. And I had Dill who put an emulator on the computer, and we were watching some YouTubes, and we're going to go into that. You know, remember when we downloaded all that stuff? Terrified the living shit out of me, man. How you watch all 5 of them sit on the stage, and then out of nowhere they start fucking chasing you. Just every time you look back, they're there, they're still. Turn around again, fucking kills you.
Yeah.
Like, God damn.
Well, it's like,
shit out of me.
it's not scary anymore. But the
still.
first time I saw Slender Man, like, it's just so much tension. Like, just constantly waiting to die. Like, you know what's going to happen. And, of course, by now, everybody's figured out exactly what you need to do, exactly which path you need to take. But when that came out, it just felt like, okay, you just have to run. You have to run and wait to die. Like, that's all you're doing is waiting for Slender Man to catch up to you and die. And, of course, Slender Man is such a weird story anyway, because it's a completely, like, crowdsourced monster. It's a weird idea, but it works. worked. It's creepy.
It's old.
The feeling that you have towards Doom is I have towards Resident Evil. Those were the first scary games, you know.
I can see that.
PlayStation came out 90s, so I was, 10, 11, 12, whatever. And, as a kid, you're not great at video games. Those games were purposely made to be limiting. So you're there, you're like, I can't move around. I can't see the world. I go down this hallway. Scary fucking dude looking at you. Mm-hmm. You're like, nope. And you just like, how do I move? How do I go backwards? No, don't go that way. Shoot the guy in the head. No, I can't aim. Ah, and then I'm just there like, yeah.
To where I can see that fucker right there, and I can just go through the walls. I need an open world, please.
I need a third person where I could cheat and look around corners without actually doing anything.
Why can't I have LEDs like strapped up across my body to where it illuminates out and scares everything away? Goddamn, the sun's coming down the hallway. Let me not jump out and scare the sun.
I know with VR, that's a genre. This is a genre game I'm never gonna play.
No, like I'll probably try one. It will scare the shit out of me, and I'll never do it again.
Like, even, like, now, you said you didn't get to finish PT, you were like, yeah, fuck this.
Yep.
But I saw a video, and I was like, nope.
Yeah.
Like, there's 0% chance. I get what's going on here, I'm good.
Yeah, PT is scary to watch, still, for me. Like, I watched it again this year. I can't even remember who, Mary Kish with GameSpot or somebody. I watched somebody play it again, and it's still so tense, because it looks so real. Like, I don't think there's been a game that has captured the idea of just being in a weird, creepy place better than that. It's like, okay, if this was a haunted house, like, you wouldn't have to have ghosts or monsters here. This would be enough. This is weird and creepy enough.
It's not even like a haunted, it's like 2 hallways.
Yeah, it's just a hallway and then some weird dark room that you only go to 2 or 3 times, depending on how long you play for. And it's terrifying. But that kind of stuff, as I get older, scares me more. Like, the idea of being in a creepy place that seems real is way more scary to me than being in, like, Doom Hell World would be now, I think. But I don't know. I need to play the new Doom. Everybody raves about it constantly. I say it's great, but I haven't played it yet.
I do want to play it. Then, of course, inside of my bones, I don't want to play it.
It looks so
We'll
good.
see.
I'm gonna play it at some point.
I might just be like y'all and watch people online play it.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, no, glad I didn't waste.
I mean,
$50 on
you can't be completely gone from jump scares, because for whatever reason, I just remembered Halo 4. Why would you expect there to be a jump scare on there? There is, when the Promethean Knights come up and the little thing goes and it's quiet and then loud noise, and I'm like, fuck you, 343. I did not sign up for this.
Yeah. Why my money back?
I'm goddamn Master Chief. I'm supposed to be invincible. I'm not supposed to be screaming like a little girl because I saw a fucking big thing pop out of nowhere.
Alright, so we got to Doom, so that'll take us over to the Doom movie, which is not scary or even that good. But I think it's better than a lot of people said it was in the beginning. It's a dumb movie.
Yeah.
There are certainly better horror movies. Recently, I don't know that there have been many great horror movies, though. But I also don't choose to see a ton of horror movies because I'm a giant baby.
Yeah, because you don't want to be sitting there in the quiet, and then boom, fucking out of nowhere. I do like thrillers more than I like horror movies.
Yeah.
There is something cool about what's going on, what's happening. Is that guy? Who's that guy? And then, slow build up into the big crescendo.
Yeah, I enjoyed The Conjuring because there were some thriller elements in that. Like, there's actually a story to that. It wasn't just, here's the scary thing, and it's going to keep doing scary things until the movie's over because, again, like, I'll jump every time, but it's not, I'm not entertained by just rote, continuous like, ooh, there's a ghost, there's some scary thing. Like, tell me a story, some kind of story.
This is how much of a pussy I am when it comes to that. I was petrified of the Blair Witch Project.
Blair Witch Project was terrifying as shit.
Yeah, especially when it first
not
came
to
out.
anybody else that I fucking knew, they're like, dude, that was fucking weak. And I'm like, fuck you, dude. I just had 3 fucking Depends on and pissed through them all.
Yeah. Well, you have to also remember, like, the way they made the Blair Witch Project was crazy. Like, they literally went out.
Your friends are lying, man.
Yeah. Also, like,
that movie was like, it took over when it first came out. They're like,
because
is
all
this
3 of
real?
us have obviously just proven to everybody that we're pussies. And
Yeah, but
okay.
well, but that movie,
but that
created
movie
a
still
genre.
exists. Like,
Yeah.
I think a new one came out this
Yeah,
year, right?
it
was
come
bad.
out, yeah.
Not
Yeah,
so
but
good.
that's not the point. The point is that that movie, you know, changed something about movie making. People fucking thought that movie was a shit, even if it.
Scared the sweet Jesus.
Yeah.
That's all I say, man.
And I'm defending you for it. I feel like you weren't alone, and I feel like your friends were like, nah.
It popularized the whole found footage genre of movies.
Yeah.
There had been 1 or 2 before it, but that was the one that everybody saw. I didn't see it when it came out. I never did. I have seen it since. And yeah, like the idea, and by the time I saw it, I knew the story of how they made that movie. I knew how little money they had. I knew that they literally took these kids into the forest, set up a tent, and didn't tell them what they were going to do to them. They just fucked with them all night. They sat out and like played music and set up weird little stick figures and pounded on the tent all night. Like, that's terrifying. Like, if I knew that was going to happen and I woke up to it in the middle of the night, I'd be scared shitless. Like, that would be a bad night.
I don't know when the fuck Bigfoot's gonna come knocking at your door. I don't need you fucking with me too. Goddamn fucking enough bears and shit out there. Wow, poor.
Yeah, like, that's not fun for me. I don't want to do that. The movie that scares me every time I see it, because a lot of these movies, after I see them the first time, it's not scary anymore because I know what's going to happen. But something like The Exorcist bothers me every time because it's so, like, the acting in it's so weird and everything that happens is so weird that it's like, this seems too real. Like, these people seem too uncomfortable and they don't seem like that good of actors at the same time. So it's like, okay, is this really, it's like, what did they tell these people? Like, how did they get them to react like this to this crazy story? And then, of course, I saw that when I was too young, and, like, the devil face popped up, and, like, okay, cool. I'm not gonna sleep for a month. I'm gonna go, Mom, Dad. You're gonna have a fun month with me.
Regardless of how many times I see certain movies, it's those movies where it's a quick transaction over to a different face, a scary face. And I don't know if I can really explain it well enough. We'll say like you're watching a guy going down a hallway, and then the camera view quickly goes to another person. You know, I can watch that 100 fucking times, and 100 out of 100 times I will be petrified.
Yeah,
it's the look to the hallway, camera pans to the hallway, and then pans back, and the face is behind him or something.
It's not the panning; it's the
quick cut,
immediate changeover.
Yeah, but that's cheap.
Scares the living shit out of me.
I'm trying to think of a good example of that because I know exactly what you're talking about, but
I know, just because I was trying to think of like the last movie I saw. I know Wreck has a little bit of that in it because they're going in with a camera. Wreck is a movie. Apartment building gets quarantined and there's something in there. So one of the images is there's a camera crew there, and they take the camera and they like put it above, like into an attic area that's all dark, and it's you see night vision style, and he's like, I don't see anything, and then it shows the dude saying I don't see anything, and then it cuts back to the fucking camera, and it's like a monster, and he's like ah, and then you know it's a big screechy noise. I was like, oh shit,
I'm totally good.
No.
Nope.
I did see Wreck 3, which they're taking you know, they're taking that route. It's like, let's make it more and more ridiculous, and it's like a fucking wedding party. That movie's awesome though. Like, I'll watch all the Wreck movies forever.
Wreck as in crash.
Wreck as in record. REC. And then like, wait, Wreck 3 could be on a ship, and Wreck 4 could be the wedding party, or it could be backwards. One of them's
awesome.
one of them's on a ship.
I totally want to be like an extra on one of these
fun
movies
to watch.
Yeah.
That's why I can't shit on the genre 100%, because they are fun to watch because they're silly. They're, you know, especially the campy versions.
Yeah, the ones that are
you have
like,
a great time like being scared.
Like a
if,
really
like
good
if
beat
us
movie.
three were going in, I was like, y'all know we're all gonna jump. No judgment.
Yeah.
Let's watch this.
Yes.
That's why I don't go to scary haunted houses.
You don't go with like a girlfriend or someone you're trying to impress.
I won't go with anybody.
I'm
It has to
push
be a
a
group
chick in
of
front
at
of me.
least 5 people, and I have to be that perfectly in the middle person.
I remember going
And
to
I
like
will
the
be
haunted
gripping
trails
people like
and like screaming, "You're not allowed to touch me!"
I'm gonna buy a shirt that says I need an adult. Just wear that shit.
an adult.
It's just dudes coming out with like fake chainsaws or real chainsaws without the blade. I'm
Yeah.
like, no.
Yeah. Fuad.
So yeah,
I forgot about the food. Actually, where's
Yeah.
the food?
yeah. That's well, I'm glad we got her. She don't go to haunted houses either. Talking. No.
No haunted houses.
Haunted houses.
No, my head would be up his shirt.
And she knows that mom would be back with her, so we felt that it was.
Creating an Ouroboros of fear.
Yeah.
It was one of those things I even asked him, which was funny, you know, because I'm like, please tell me you don't want to take me to a haunted house this Halloween. And he goes, oh God, no. And I'm like, oh, thank you.
Well, no.
If we sit here and hold each other and scream loud enough, maybe the bad thing would go away. I think I can be loud enough. Let me try.
And I've done a few when I was younger, you know, but I mean, I got grabbed in them and.
Yeah,
all
see
kinds
here,
of-
no touching.
Yeah, they're not supposed to, and they've changed the law up there now in Michigan. But yeah, I've been
They
grabbed.
open.
And then I went to like a park, you know, like a park, and so then they had people chasing you through this park with chainsaws and all kinds, and it was pretty crazy. And all I could think was to run, keep running, and just run to them legs. Can't run anymore.
Nope, don't do the what is it? The cornfield. Don't do none of that shit.
Cornfield mazes and
Fuck
stuff.
no. That haunt3.com that they have here, and he's nope.
Man,
World.
haunted houses are popular in this city. They're
Yeah, they
one
are.
every large enough space has a haunted house right now.
Yeah.
Now I was gonna say the older boys now from Michigan, the 23 and 26. They every year look for like the scariest, the most, you know. But they look for the ones that like would pay you if you can get through them.
Yeah.
Where
Like
is
that.
that? Where's that world's scariest one in New York or some shit like that?
I bet
That
every
nobody-
major city claims that they have.
Well,
the
no,
world's
they've
scariest,
honestly
since you can't
had
quantify
where
that.
nobody has ever made it to the end, ever.
Awesome.
And it's
See,
it's
like,
open all year round.
I think
and
it would be super funny, but I know that I wouldn't be able to do it.
It's
Like,
a lot of
I'd
money to go
lose.
in there too.
Hey man, we go in there high, we'll be like, yo, look at that. Hey.
Either that or
We're
like
so
find a
scared.
corner, sit down, and cry. Like, well, you're gonna have to carry me out of here because
I'm
my
betting
legs
on
don't
that
work.
one.
How about drunk? Just not afraid of anything.
'Cause I
That'd be okay. I might be okay then.
Just be like, let's go, man.
Fucking puke on you.
Totally
Fucking
wasted.
windmilling at the
Yeah.
first thing that comes
I
out.
just talked to Anthony and Norma, and they just went to one last weekend, so it's one of the big ones up
I
there.
can't do it.
Yeah.
Well, I could, but I just.
And
don't
I
want
can't
to.
believe what they want for them anymore. Only because, like, I remember spending $5 and $10 to go to the haunted
Yeah,
house.
like-
Now they're like $25, $30,
Yeah.
$40 to go to the haunted. I'm like, really?
Yeah,
To be
okay.
scared out of your mind.
They must make pretty good money, I guess.
I gotta find this one.
Yeah, I mean, you go, because they'll open it in October, right? And just open for the whole month. And you could go any weekend. It's like a brand new movie coming out. They're packed.
And a lot of them are open like at least 1 or 2 days during the week too. So
It's a weird mentality. Hey man, I'm gonna give you money to try to get me scared.
I still love the holiday itself. Like I still like to dress up, even myself. I was talking to Dustin about whether we're gonna pass out candy to the trick or treaters. And
I usually end up working on Halloween. I like Halloween.
Here, world's scariest and most exclusive haunted house has a 24,000 person waiting list right now.
What?
Yes.
Do they let one person in a year?
The
How does that work?
Manor in San Diego, California can only accommodate 2 visitors at a time.
What?
With applicants having to be background checked by the founder.
What's that mean?
This is a really
basically they're
weird
checking
thing.
all your health issues and stuff. Because this place is pretty fucking bad.
Well,
a place that I wouldn't last fucking 3 feet stepping into.
Well, this place probably actually employs like psychological terror elements that are dangerous. Like if you have a heart condition, like it might actually be able to kill you.
No one has,
Scare you
services that
no
like
one has
kidnap
ever
people.
completed the haunt in its entirety. Even a Marine and an adrenaline junkie did not make it through.
Weird.
Oh.
There is a segment where you get waterboarded for an hour. It's just
Yeah, like what are they doing to you?
They film the whole time. There it is. Truly interactive experience has been described as a real-life horror movie. Visitors travel between 4 locations. The entire experience is filmed. Spectators can watch on global webcams. You can pull it up on
let's
We've gotta
do this.
We have to do that.
Yeah, it's freaking this thing.
Keep that
is
open because
crazy.
when we're done
Yeah,
with this,
keep-
we're gonna check to see if they're doing that tonight. 'Cause that's amazing. But that's the way to do it, right? Like challenge people and then film it because then they can't claim like, oh, I wasn't scared. Like, dude, here, you found a corner and started crying.
yeah.
What do you mean you weren't scared?
yeah, like
It's when
roller
they
coaster
touch you.
cameras. The moment something comes up, you just see a
It
flash.
says they touch it. The theme changes every year, and participants have been tied, had their heads forced into a cage of snakes,
No,
eaten rotten
nope.
eggs,
Yeah, you
or
see?
even been
Fuck,
gagged.
that's
See, that's
cheating.
like that's step one. Like they're going to ask you what you're afraid of. Part of the background check will be questions like, "What are you afraid of?" And then like 5 minutes in, you end up in a room full of clowns dressed like snakes or some shit. I'm gone. Like I'll find.
Were
a
you
way
bit
to
by a
leave.
snake when you were 2, and did your parents get killed by clowns? And it's just gonna be.
Are you afraid of heights? Here's a gigantic building with a glass floor that you can hang 20 feet off of.
Yeah,
like,
fuck
no,
off.
like no, please
Here's
stop this.
fire. We're just gonna burn you.
It says the whole
It
project
seems like they're cheating.
is
It
run
doesn't
free of
seem-
charge.
What?
The whole project, it says the whole thing is run like free of charge.
Then whoever owns it must have a lot of money.
He's ran it for 14 years.
He's got a lot of money then.
So do they pay for the webcam?
That's a
They're,
How do they make money?
they're still charging people to go in it though, right? You said free of charge.
Yeah,
It says free of charge, but it's
I wonder what that
24,000
means.
people waiting list right now.
I wonder if you have to pay if you don't make it.
They said they spent more than $500,000 to make McCamey the scariest experience on Earth.
Sounds
Participants must be at least 21 years of age and have no potential dangerous medical conditions at all. You got to sign a lot of waivers and have a lot of physical stuff done to you before you can go in there. Fuck no.
It's
no.
like
I
we're
would
gonna
die.
pay for your 23andMe, your blood
Yeah.
test.
It's like an old, like classic horror movie. Make you sign a waiver before you go watch it.
See, I raised 3 boys, and each older boy thought it was funny to scare the younger boy. You know, so it's just how it goes, right? The 26-year-old scares the 23-year-old, the 23, you know, when they're younger, you know. So, Robert John, who's the one about 5 years older than Dylan, used to scare Dylan half to death
Yeah.
when he was younger, and used to just think it was the funniest thing, you know. So I'll never forget. We have basements in Michigan. I know a lot of you guys don't know what a basement is here.
Right.
You
But we
see
have-
them in movies.
Yeah, we have basements, and he was in his first basement when he came to Michigan. But one of my kids had a Jason mask and one of those hatchets, you know, like a big bloody hatchet or something. Well, I happened to see that laying there, and about 2 hours before that, Robert John had scared Dylan. So I was like, okay, this kid is getting it back right here, right now. So I put that Jason mask on, had that hatchet, and in the basement, where it's pretty dark, he come down in the basement just as, you know, And I come flying around that corner with that hatchet going, rah, you know what I mean? And he balled up on the floor and just started screaming bloody murder. I mean, just balled up on the floor, Matt. I had to take the mask off, of course, go, hey, it's me, you know. And he's like, what? He's like, what? And I was like, scare your brother again. You know what I mean? So, and I don't think he ever scared no one after that. That was it.
So yeah, y'all do take a road trip out to San Diego, California, to the McCamey Manor, and have.
I mean,
fun.
is there a safe word? Like,
I'm
how
sure
do you get out of it?
You say.
I'm guessing the answer is if you say you're done, you lose.
Yeah, you just urinate on the ground probably, and they see it with their night vision.
I bet every
Just
room
scream,
has
ow,
like
ow,
super
ow.
bright lights. As soon as you say
Tap.
you're done,
Tap just against the wall.
so yeah, I don't. My eyes are closed, and I'm not gonna open them. So someone needs to come carry me out of
I'm
here.
balled up and ready now, right?
Yeah.
This is as far as I go.
I wonder if they mic you up, or if they just mic the rooms.
If they what?
They mic you up, or if they just mic the rooms. So
I
they spent
got-
$500,000. They have enough money to buy lapel mics.
Yeah.
Or they could just mic the rooms.
And we can find out when we probably like try to go to the website and look
Check
at
it
it and
out.
see how those
Yeah.
cameras
I'm
are set
totally
up.
curious about this.
It's one of those crazy things though, like, oh, the first person who gets to the end, like, actually gets killed or something, and, like, that's how the story ends. like something weird happens, like, wait, someone actually has finished it, we've just never found them. Like, nobody's ever seen them again. That's why they only let 2 people in at once, and then why they do background checks, to make sure
Yeah.
you don't have any family, so if
The
you
last
disappear,
room is
nobody
Donner,
checks.
and then
Yeah.
we'll
Like,
see how
oh.
that turns out.
Like, you get to the last room, it literally says the last room above the doorway. You're like, okay, awesome, I'm almost done. You walk in, and there's, like, some dude there sharpening a knife. Like, oh, this is fine, whatever, I can handle this. He comes at you, and you're dead, and you're like, wait, how did this happen? This is supposed to not be real.
You're supposed to say I'm done right before he stabs you.
Yeah.
But like
It's in the small
one brave
print.
soul.
Yeah, no one ever
never said it.
Yeah, just didn't think about it.
It's in the small print that he did not read.
Man, I wish we had something like that here.
I'm glad we don't.
I just
What?
think it would be
What do you
awesome.
mean? Like intense like that?
Yeah,
No.
I'd try
I'm
it.
sure there's
Go
one
to
in the state of
regular
Texas.
ones. Go to go to Haunted Trails. Go to Scream World, and then after that,
Yeah, but that's not
You'll
a
be like-
challenge. Like that,
No.
I'm going to be scared at no matter what. Like if I'm really
What do you
trying
mean
to
a
be
challenge?
afraid,
okay,
trying to make it through this.
do a
like,
Tough Mudder,
thing.
and then go there, and then go do another Tough Mudder.
No, I'm good for that. That's too much.
See, the one they went to was in Michigan.
Create a
It's called
scary
the Scream
version of the
Machine.
Tough Mudder, huh? How's that for an idea?
Somebody's probably done that, or will do that this year.
You could have it for
A
free
haunted
world.
Tough Mudder. Yeah. Each section of the course is also some weird, creepy haunted house. So not only are you tired, you're scared to death.
You get chased by Jason the whole time. If you get caught, you don't win or whatever. Whoever gets across the line.
Because he literally kills you.
But yeah, there's a lot of really good, like, campy horror movies that aren't really meant to be too scary. Like, the Freddy Krueger movies, none of those are, like, the early 1 or 2 were pretty scary, but all of those movies eventually got to a point
Yeah,
where
man,
it's
you
just
start
trying to
getting
be
into
funny.
6. And
Yeah. Whatever. Jason X is a good movie.
I didn't mind
Jason in
X.
space.
Yeah.
It's so dumb. I love it.
That's probably why I was able to watch it all the way through.
Yeah, there's literally nothing scary about that movie. It's stupid.
So the one that one of my kids went to is called the Scream Machine. And just some of the things it says, like had a great time, scared to death and that. Love those clowns though, and they had us walking in circles. And I did my best to avoid the ghostess in the elevator.
It's nothing to me. You can't see a picture. It
there
doesn't
is.
mean anything.
Is it here? It's somewhere in Texas where it's like an elevator thing
I think so.
that
But
drops
yeah.
10 feet.
It's the Walt Disney World thing.
I mean, the Tower of Terror
Tower of
drops
Terror.
8 stories or something.
It's not where you go down.
But that's
and then
like
come
a
back
ride,
up,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
that's
this is like an actual thing. You're going through it, you stand, and it drops enough for you to feel it, but not enough for you to get hurt.
Can only be like
I think
Yeah,
it's just
like-
a platform that drops like 5 feet. Maybe.
6 feet. I think is like the most you
Yeah,
could do
that's
that
good
without
with that, mate.
Yeah.
risking.
And it's not like, you know, it's gone. It's like it just goes
Yeah, it
down.
just falls.
Like, you know, the jolt you feel in an elevator. But I think it's just like a platform. Everyone's standing there like,
I'm
what
sure
do
I'd
we do?
find a
And
way
then
to land on somebody.
I would actually be less afraid of that because I wouldn't know it was gonna happen. Like I'm terrified of like the drop rides. Like, oh, here's a ride that goes up 150 feet and drops you straight down. Great, cool. I'm gonna be on this, and my eyes are gonna be closed until I know that we're on the ground again. I'll open my eyes for about half a second. We're at the top. It's pretty. Eyes closed again. Eyes are closed again.
What the
look
do
at
that for?
that.
Time to go back down.
Just go ahead and end it now.
Yeah, the last one of those I did was out at Kima, so just looking out over the ocean.
Oh, yeah.
That one's not that big.
This is yeah, that one's not that big, but it's still big enough that I'm very afraid of it.
Same thing.
Well, like the
Did you take
slingshot.
pictures either like
Never
before
done
you
one of
go
those
in or-
because
Yeah, me
that
neither.
is uncontrolled enough that I just couldn't. I don't think I could do it. Like in the drop rides, at least it's straight up, straight down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Tower of Terror is actually pretty good because there's a lot of like really expensive technology before you get to the drop. So
Yeah,
there's all the
I
ghosts
like
and
it.
stuff and the two-way mirrors.
I luckily
That stuff's
wasn't
cool.
scared of the
They're
tower.
changing it.
Do you remember
Yeah,
Tales of the Crypt?
What are
I
they
don't-
changing?
I don't remember what they're doing
Nothing
to it, but
much
yeah,
yet.
they were doing some big
Yeah, because it was like
money
B
renovation
C
thing to it.
rated for the most
Yeah.
part. Yeah. I could watch Tales of the Crypt.
Mm-hmm.
Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah.
Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah, that little
The
guy
Crypt
that
Keeper.
came out.
The Crypt Keeper is one of the scariest parts
Yeah.
of Tales from the Crypt. Like,
And
he's
then it was like
creepy.
B rated movies, kind of, you know. It
About
was more-
Goosebumps.
it
Didn't
was- yeah, Goosebumps. There you go.
man?
Wasn't
Are you
Tales of
afraid of the
Crypt,
dark?
though,
R.L.
like-
Stein.
That one?
Yeah.
You
Wasn't it
child.
little stories though?
Mhm.
Like, okay.
I wonder how much money R.L. Stein made from
All
the
of it.
hundreds of books that he made.
My little brother had every single one of them.
I had all of them for a while, and then some of them after that.
That's Scholastic School Book Fair, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not. I think until I was an adult, those were the only books I had ever bought.
Yeah.
I never bought anything from the book fairs. I was the one, if I did buy something, it was a bouncy ball or something like that. But they had books, but they had a couple other things, you know, and pencils, the bouncy ball. But, ooh, yeah, yeah,
I'd buy a
let's do
joke
that.
book or something.
The
I
only
think I
things
bought
I
like
ever
a
bought were-
biography that I never read. It's
The only
like, oh,
things
Michael
I
Jordan
consistently bought were Calvin and Hobbes. That was it.
I love them.
biography. You, sir, made the right choice.
Yep.
Yes.
That's where I got all my Calvin and Hobbes stuff from. I still have most of it too. But yeah, as far as like scary books, like that's not gonna happen.
them.
Like
Books, I
'Cause there's-
like. I mean, my favorite types of books. They're not scary, I guess, but it's like serial killers and stuff.
so
But like the level of detail they go into.
thrillers
Yeah,
in literature
Rad.
form.
I don't get. And I listen to like the audiobooks, so
Yeah.
it's a good time.
Yeah, there's a good Stephen King short story collection. There's a lot of good stories in that.
Yeah.
But long form horror is not really my thing because I'm a giant baby, and eventually it gets to the point like, okay, this would be scary if it was real. Can't keep reading this.
I can't read anyway. As soon as I get to the next page, I forgot what was on the first page.
Audiobooks, man.
Yeah, let's listen to one of
Notes.
them while I'm driving down the fucking road.
I'm taking notes.
I will destroy the Beltway A.
Yeah. Yeah, the Beltway has like 2 or 3 extra haunted houses on it this year, apparently. Or at least ads for them. Maybe they're not on the Beltway, but
Oh, they've got that one that's been there forever.
Screamworld's been there for like 30 years or something. That's the one that we have to pass pretty much every day.
forever. Sits there looking abandoned, and I'm like, yep, nope. Not even while it's closed would I even go in there. Nope.
It'd be scarier while it was closed. Weird, creepy, like supposedly like designed to be scary. Yeah, like this place that is literally designed to be scary without anybody else in it. That's even more terrifying, at least to me. But yeah, I mean, if you put me in the right situation, I'll pretty much always be afraid of the dark. Like, if I'm out in a big open field and I can see all the stars, great. If I'm in a forest at night, I will be scared to death.
I'm not scared. I remember being scared of the dark when I was little. I'd like run, because it was a hallway, bathroom was in the middle. I would run from room to room trying to switch the light of the hallway on. Be like, okay, now I could go to the bathroom. And I'm Mexican, so I was raised with shit like El Cucuy and fucking demons and stuff. Because adults and cousins are just jackasses, and like, it's Candyman is not just a story; it's something that could actually happen.
Fuck that movie. Fuck that.
Dude,
Candyman.
it hasn't been brought up. It is probably the most.
See, I'm not afraid of clowns. Clowns annoy me. I think clowns are stupid. So it doesn't get to me. Like, I hate the appearance of a clown unless it is a beautiful French woman involved in some kind of delay of the cirque. Like Cirque du Soleil, female, like French Canadian clowns, all about it. Other than that, get away from me. Like, you're silly bullshit.
How are you going to feel if you're cruising down the road
and we're calling clowns and calling them
come out of nowhere,
and you see a French Canadian woman on a trapeze just go by you on the highway?
I'd definitely stop. I mean, I'd have to stop and think about things like...
It's like, what's that connected
Make
to?
sure that I'm awake.
This is not computing.
I don't know I don't know how this is happening, but I gotta watch it now. I'm here.
Yeah, until the other clouds start circling your car.
Oh,
Then it walks like Exorcist style towards you.
Man. Those are always creepy.
What's that movie that has like a curse on it where like 3 people died making them? Poltergeist, right? Everybody, like, a bunch of people died making Poltergeist?
No, I don't think so.
Now I want
I want to know what you're talking
I
about.
want to know exactly which one that is.
So, I mean, there aren't a ton... In reality, there aren't actually a ton of movies where people have died making them. Like, so... If that's one of them, I guarantee you they wrote about it somewhere. So, I mean, like, someone died filming Ben-Hur. Oh, God, what was the other one? There was a helicopter accident on some set that killed somebody, like 3 people. One of the stars and a couple kids. I don't know. What else would there be? What else?
I'm on Snow, so this Poltergeist that the series is supposedly cursed. It'll take me a while to get through this.
Yeah, Twilight Zone is one of mine on there.
I think, is Twilight Zone the one with the helicopter accident?
Let's see, John Eric Hexum. CBS Adventures. I think I've actually got quite a few of them apparently on here.
Well, let's just go to the truth part, huh?
Vic Moore on the Twilight Zone, the movie. Killed on set in July 1982, along with 2 child actors.
Yeah.
Script calls for the use of both a helicopter, and a pyrotechnics.
Yeah. Yeah, helicopter accidents are not usually, like, great.
Right?
They don't usually involve, like, survivors, generally. If something goes wrong with a helicopter, people die.
John Ritter died. 87 roles for dating a teenage
Bruce
daughter.
Lee's kid died
Yeah.
on the Crow.
Brandon Bruce Lee got shot. Do not point to
There has been 4 deaths among the cast.
of Poltergeist.
Yeah.
On Poltergeist movies.
Of these sets of films, yeah.
Yeah. No thanks. Okay.
No, 2 of the deaths were foreseeable, 2 were not. What does that mean?
Yeah, maybe people got cancer or something. Got sick.
How do you have a fragment of a real bullet?
You don't, man. It was the fucking Chinese mafia.
Goddamn conspiracy.
I'm laughing at one of my friends up in Michigan. I mean, it's sad. His truck was broken into last night.
Ooh, that's us.
Okay, but he's like, so someone broke into my truck last night. Didn't have anything in there to take. They just rifled through it. But I'm going to put together a serial killer kit and keep it in a flat bag.
Yeah.
Jax. He goes, I'm going to include piano wire, zip ties, hacksaw, latex gloves with fake blood on them, an ice pick, a ball gag, rope, duct tape. Jax. Stays. Jax.
Jax.
Jax. Duct tape, a dirty shovel, a map that marks all the convenient dumpster locations.
Dylan's little brother. Or Brad's little brother, Dylan. Dumbass.
Hey, man. That's your fellow army brother.
Boy, ain't nothing with me. He's stupid. Alright, am I taking a break for a minute so I can eat a little bit?
3, 2, 1. Back from a quick little snack break. Talking about the Ouija board and our reticence to participate in that. Apparently, Dustin is totally up for it. I, Will, Gus, Kelly, 3 of us are totally against this idea because purposefully asking for something to fuck with you.
That's what it is.
It's like
I'm not gonna put myself.
It's like any other situation. It's like,
I mean, come on, if nobody moves the motherfucker, it ain't gonna move by its fucking self.
except for the one time that maybe it has. Like, if it
Or
ever
maybe
actually
all the
has,
times
that's
it
the
does.
scariest thing ever.
Who knows?
I don't believe it's ever happened. Don't get me wrong. Like, unless it was a scam, I don't believe it's ever really happened.
That's like terrible.
But if it has ever really happened, that's terrifying to me.
And I can't see that it's ever fucking happened. Like I said, it's like tarot cards, just made up fucking shit.
Maybe.
Not necessarily, though.
Tarot
I mean,
cards made up shit.
Oh, here,
no,
here
this
it is.
Ouija board, I had a friend of mine
Oh my god.
No, please tell a story.
that the thing used to keep coming back. She got rid of it, she threw it out, it was back in the house. How do you throw it out to the garbage? It's back in the house.
See, no,
5 or 6 times that
not
happened.
cool with that. I'm not okay with that
I'm
at
gonna go
all.
buy a fucking Ouija board. Then we'll let her throw it away and see if it comes back.
Why did that move?
I don't even want one.
Because
around.
I'm on the table and she's nibbling at herself.
You're an ass. Like, we're talking about this shit, things on the table start moving. Like, what is happening? This is bad.
Yeah, when she nibbles herself, she shakes the whole fucking table.
You know what scary shit? Porcelain dolls. We haven't brought that up yet.
I was literally about to tell him that I was going to buy a doll and leave it at that front door. Those were the words that are about to come out of my mouth. No shit.
You want to go halvesies on it?
Yes.
Just for the
I
scare?
accept that and go in a trash can.
Yeah, and I will make sure that
Yeah, we're
I
gonna set
will
up a
drive
little
by
camera.
every day after I drop that shit off. It'll make it on
We're
top
gonna
of
buy
your
10 of
house.
them, just like in bulk.
I'm gonna bring it up to work and ask for your keys. Be like, oh, dude, I think I left something in your car. I have things gonna be in your passenger seat. Leave it in your glove box. You pop the glove box open.
What's some kind of animatronic in it where his head rotates around and shit?
We're gonna somehow set it up. You know the snakes in the can? We're gonna get that so it don't like jump out at you.
Oh, I'd totally fucking kill both of you.
Hey, I would be super unhappy if somebody did
Good
that
luck.
to me
Let's
too.
see how far you get when you put a whole clip into your engine block.
It's like, no. This car is
It's
tainted.
like, I swear there was a
In the
door.
car. Christine, you have to die.
You call up your insurance company and like, there's a ghost in my car.
Yeah.
You're
I
all
was gonna
state,
say,
right?
I feel like I reacted
You've seen
accordingly.
this before.
I lived with 3 spirits for about 12 years.
See, my mom and my
How'd that work out?
grandmother and my grandparents, they all have seen things that they can't explain. Like, they don't necessarily claim they're one thing or the other, but it's like, huh, that's weird. And it happened more than once. So something was happening, whether it was natural or not. Something was happening.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. When we were growing up, when the mysterious shit would happen, the noises, something moved.
At my house, it was my
we had a
dad.
person we called, and the person's name was Sarah. So we'd be like,
you gave it a
we'd
name.
be like,
That's probably super safe.
yeah, like, what the fuck was that? Oh, it was Sarah. She just runs around and fucks with us all the time.
I thought you were like, there's a person called.
It was a priest.
Yeah.
Well, from there, Sarah actually originated and apparently started doing things. My mama had a miscarriage, and it was a girl, and it was right before I was being born. And she was going to name her Sarah.
Great, cool,
So
cool,
now,
cool,
like I
cool.
said,
In the first trimester?
I don't know when it was, but from there
Because
on,
statistically, it was bound to happen.
from there
Right.
on, we just named the stuff that happened, the creaking of the house and the noises that happened.
Oh,
Stuff,
yeah.
yeah, Sarah.
Voices, footsteps, and nobody else be around. And then the other thing that was interesting is when you talk to people who witnessed it, and they never didn't talk. So these people didn't talk about what they had witnessed, and then they could describe these entities, spirits, whatever you want to call them. They could describe them by what they were wearing. Talking to them differently, and that's what so it's not like in a group session. It's like Dylan had experienced all three of them,
Independent confirmation.
and then independently, what this person look like, and describing now to like old man wearing this, that little girl wearing this and that, old woman wearing this and that, and talk to someone else who's like pinning down exactly, and it's like those two haven't spoken, and these are people and it's like, and Dylan who grew up with them. Because a kid, how does a kid grow? Like most kids, say 7, 8, 9, 10, are like, "Mom, I'm out. We're not alone here." You know what I mean? I'm out. We gotta do something. You know what I mean? No, he interacted in a way, like with them, or they interacted with him because they were in a certain part of the home. Dylan's room was there, and half the time, like next morning, you wake up like, "Oh yeah, she was playing hide and seek with me." What do you mean playing hide and seek? And he goes, "Oh, she'd be hiding behind my dresser and just peering around it." It's kind of freaky.
Yeah, it's weird.
Like what are you seeing? A shadow of of some. You know what I mean?
Of something, a shadow of something.
And then
anything.
And then Dylan would even talk like he'd say like the old man he said was over top of him one time when he was trying to sleep and he could just feel a presence, and he said he looked up and there was this dark shadow over top of him, and Dylan said he just sat right up and was like, "Hey, you're getting personal. We can all live in this house together, but you don't get that close to me." Like that. And he was like, just straight out, like...
Pedophile that broke into the house.
Oh,
See? She can explain everything.
Oh, man. Everybody's different. I have an open mind to it, so... I don't think we always have to have science to prove something, and... So, I have an open mind.
The only weird stuff I've ever seen was in the sky. In the sky in the middle of the forest at night. The only time I ever saw anything was just
chemtrails.
Lights. No, it was at night, so it wasn't trails. It was just lights, like a lot of really bright comets, like reds and greens and blues.
And
like
we saw something like that form in the house, like just out of nowhere, just this like ball of light form in the house, grow, and then fly through the house, all like that. All happens like that. Yeah. 2 or 3 people witness it. I mean, you're like standing there like...
Yeah, the last thing that we saw is you ever seen sci-fi movies where an explosion happens in space and the ring flies away from the center of the explosion? It's a perfect circle. Mm-hmm. I've seen that in the sky. Like, that's the weirdest thing. That's the one thing that I don't really know how to explain. It was probably a comet bouncing off the atmosphere, but it was perfectly circular, and the thing that hit moved away from the planet incredibly fast. So if it hit, it just bounced off directly, it's totally possible, but never seen anything like that before. Never seen anything like that again, probably, but that was my assumption. But again, like, if it's something else, that'd be cool. I'm down with aliens.
Playing tag in the sky, huh?
Or aliens. I'm down with aliens.
I believe there are aliens.
Aliens playing tag in the sky.
There's too many planets in the
There's too many planets in our galaxy for there not to be aliens.
That we are just a small, tiny grain, like you would be a grain on a huge, beach, and like a sea. That's how we are with space. So to me, yes, it's.
I read a quote the other day from, I can't remember which astronaut, but one of the ones who's been on the dark side of the moon. He made the moon run, and he said when you're on the dark side of the moon, and the Earth is blocking the sun, it's white. Like, there's so many stars that it's just a blanket of white. Mm-hmm. From Earth, there's always solar interference, so we can't see but like less than 0.01% of the stars. But when you're on the other side and you have the whole Earth to block, like, there's so many stars. The idea that there's nothing else is stupid. And that's how I feel. And the only other option is, like, if there isn't anything else, then there probably is a God. I should probably start believing in God, because we were probably put here on purpose. But otherwise, I think there's a pretty good chance that there's not life that we could understand or communicate with or have any interaction with. But there's probably some kind of life somewhere.
I go with much higher intelligence. Honestly.
Higher or lower, it doesn't matter, but something else, something other than us.
Yeah, who knows? Their planet could be at the caveman stage. Every planet that gets life could produce the same.
On Earth, it's estimated that after human beings are gone, it'll only take 70,000 years for every sign of human life to be completely gone. So there could have been civilizations on every other habitable planet in this universe, in in our solar system. We'd have no idea. Like, the universe, the galaxy is so old. Like, there could have been literally billions of civilizations that have lived and died and completely disappeared, and, like, they're carbon atoms now. They're atoms now. Like, we don't know what that atom came from. It came from a star at some point, but so did all of us. So,
and is that kind of, like, in a way, what starts to explain, some of the hieroglyphs, even of, some of the hieroglyphs way back show, like, there were spaceships and that there were,
like, there's so many, like, ancient pictures of people flying during times when people weren't supposed to be able to fly. Like, why do people keep painting pictures of people who are obviously being looked up at flying through the air? Like, maybe that's all just, like, weird fantasy, but it's pretty specific to happen.
Maybe it was their form of storytelling. That's over again.
Yeah, I mean,
what if you pick up a book now that was written now, and you're like, oh, these people... I can't fucking think of a book.
Right. I mean, Neil Stephenson's written some stuff like that. There's a book called Diamond Age that is pretty fantastic, but seemingly possible, just not right now. Just like, at the time, flight wasn't possible, but obviously people can fly now.
Or, I mean, even... don't really want to go down this path, but, like, even, like, the Bible or religious texts, like,
sure.
Oh, there's these creatures. I mean, they're not real.
Like unicorns and dragons and stuff that are brought up in the Bible multiple times. Yeah,
I meant, like, angels and stuff.
There's also
unicorns are brought up?
I don't know.
Yes.
I think unicorns are at least once, and then dragons definitely are, like, 2 or 3 times.
Sweet.
Yeah. So, God must be real.
Again, this is where that conversation ends. But
yeah, that's the thing.
But
like,
also, like,
I also didn't know where y'all were on that one, so I didn't want to be like. Well,
yeah, because like the Bible isn't the only religious text that does that. Like the Bhagavad Gita has stuff about like thermonuclear war and like the destruction on a scale that hasn't been possible any time past like 10 years ago. So. Why would you write about that? Why would you write about killing that many people when supposedly at the time there had never been that many people? Like, there hadn't been that many people in one place ever. Yeah, right? Like, someday we'll be able to kill everybody.
And praying and going, I want to kill you all.
Someday we'll get there.
What is it, Nostradamus, predicting all the things that he predicted, but... You read into it, and it's very vague.
Incredibly vague.
Yeah.
It's interesting how much of the vagary was sort of accurate, but...
Yeah, you can associate that to
like, if
anything.
we made a, like, database of every fortune cookie in the world, a lot of that shit's probably come true too over time. Like,
you'll have good luck today.
Relatively specifically. Gosh.
What's up?
Is there another one of those in there?
No. I can put one in the freezer right now.
Yeah.
Sure, if you don't mind. Thank you.
Please drink them all.
Yes, please.
Alright, guys, that is going to be our spooky episode for Halloween. Hope everybody has a fantastic Halloween.
That's a good laugh.
If you guys
They get pretty evil.
do anything fun for Halloween, let us know at allornothingpodcast@gmail.com. I'm Will.
I'm Dustin.
We've never done that before.
Have a fantastic Halloween for Dustin and Gus. Again, I'm Will. Happy Halloween. Happy beginning of the holiday season. Take care. Be safe.